guys, welcome to Find Your Flow. I am Natalie and you're watching a lovely restorative practice to fill your cup when you don't always have a lot of time. So hop into super comfy clothes, make sure you have all of your at-home props with you, and I'll meet you on the mat. So jumping straight on in, making sure you have all of your at-home props. I really encourage you to grab as many pillows, cushions, blankets, towels, whatever you have, so you can make your restorative practice a super comfortable one and definitely make the most out of it. So our first pose is going to be a supported child's pose. If you have a bolster cushion, or if you made an at-home bolster cushion from one of our previous videos, link will be in the bio if you didn't see that, you can bring it right to the in-between part of the legs and really pull it in so that we can find some support here for the stomach when we fold forwards, but making sure that our bolster is the right height. If we are working towards finding a bit more space, we can lift it up, so we can use, if you have yoga bricks or blocks, then great. If not, books are an amazing alternative, boxes, anything you have at all. And this will just help to find a bit more support from the ground. And of course, if we don't have a bolster cushion, we can use cushions. These are sofa pillows that I have very handily taken. So yeah, literally anything. And whenever we have found this setup here, lifted nice and tall, as we come to release and settle in, bringing our arms either side of our support, resting our head one way. And right away we'll start to notice whether we need some support in other spaces, maybe underneath the knees or in between the bottom and the heels, or underneath the feet, depending on how hard your surface is, if you have bony feet or knees or anything at all. And then, so take the time to really snuggle in. And when you do arrive here, can you take all of the effort, all of the tension away from the body? And I know this is our first pose, so don't worry if this doesn't come instantly. If you are feeling quite stressed, busy, worried, anxious, any of these things, then it will take time to help to release some of that and find a little bit more of a quiet. But it is really important that we take this time to slow down, calm down, give our sympathetic nervous system a rest. Slowing the breath down just slightly as we tune into our inhales and exhales, each breath in and out. And can we notice this space where we feel our breath the most here? Perhaps it's in the back body, feeling the rib cage expand as the lungs inflate. It might be your stomach. You might be able to feel the breath in the roof of the mouth as it floats in through the nose, wherever it is. Just check in. And then option here for our last couple of minutes to take our gaze over to the opposite side. But if we do this and we feel an instant pull or tension, tightness, just bring your head back the other way. And remember, less is far more in restorative yoga. We aren't looking to reach our edge in a pose or feel a big stretch or sensation. Now is the time to know that it's okay to completely soften, to completely surrender to the support that we have in place beneath us. Every time your mind wanders, just notice this and see if we can bring it back to this space, back to our breath. The only moment we have is now, this present moment. Can we simply watch every moment unfold, one after the other, breath by breath? And then slowly starting to wiggle the fingers and toes. And in your own time, know there is no rush. Plant the palms either side of your support and lift your way up into a seat. Just coming to find this neutral spine for a few breaths. Beautiful. Fluttering the eyes open but keeping the gaze soft as we make our way into a reclined twist. So again, we can use our bolster, we can use our cushions, whatever we have, just tailor it to us and make it feel great for our body exactly as it is today in this moment. Bringing the outside of our hip to the very, very edge of our support. And then whenever we get there, just bring the hands either side of our support and lift onto the fingertips so we can keep a nice long tall spine. This bit's really, really important to help us get the most out of this rotation in our center. So with every inhale, we'll reach a little bit tall, really lengthen through the spine. And with every exhale, we'll twist around towards our props. Do this 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist, really from the center. And then once more, inhaling. Feel the ribs rotate around as we exhale, and keeping in this twist, we lower down. And bring our arms either side, again coming to rest the head one way, and notice where the legs are. We might like to bring support underneath the bottom knee or in between the 2 knees. If the elbows are hanging off the earth, maybe on one side and not the other. Again, just really take what you have here. Oh yeah. And use this to support you in your practice. And get all of the fidgets, all of the wriggles out of the way. And this will become easier the more you do it. It's super great in an actual class, in a public class, because the teacher is there to help you do all of this figuring out with the props and things. So, but you can still make sure that you get so much out of this at home. So whenever you come to your position, just coming straight back to the breath and loving yourself, sending this special time to really check in and press the pause button on everything else that's happening. Remember, we aren't looking to push into anything that doesn't feel good here, but for our last minute, I invite you, if it feels good, to turn your head and neck to the opposite direction. This just adds another twist in the spine. But if we feel any pulling, just bring it straight back. Start to wake up the body, nice and gently, moving mindfully, before pressing into the palms and lightly lifting up, turning away from your support as we roll now onto the opposite side. Bringing your hip all the way to the edge of your support, and here's the really important bit, hands either side 3 times, inhaling to lift, exhaling to twist. And on your third and final time, as you exhale, twist, release and come down. Fold to your support, give your head and neck all of the attention it deserves. Think about the spine here. If anywhere's hanging, can we lift the ground up to us? Come back to your breath and notice how this space where we feel our breath the most might have changed already within our practice. Notice where your attention is. It might be on a sensation you can feel. And if it is, we know we can move where we are once we get settled, but just can we do so mindfully, really thinking before we move. And if we're thinking about something else that's happened last week or last year, or something that hasn't even happened yet in the future, starting to observe our thoughts as a witness rather than getting wrapped up in them and taken on a journey within our mind. Option here to take the gaze to the opposite side for one more minute. Gently waking up the body in any way that feels good. the palms lightly as we lift up, turn away from our support, find a neutral spine, and take any movement here if you want to, maybe a really slight seated cat-cow. Perhaps some gentle circles in the neck. And then fluttering the eyes open, making our way to our final resting posture for this practice. So I know there's loads of different restorative poses that we can do. They're all great to tap into, but for now we are coming down to the ground and into a Shavasana. I have a couple of options here. We might like to explore the traditional Shavasana lying on our back supine, or maybe we feel better side lying in our Shavasana. So there's always the option to have a blanket underneath your body in every pose, but particularly this one feels great. And then making our way down to the ground. If we're in our traditional Shavasana, again, a few options. We can use our bolster or our cushions for underneath the upper part of the legs. And what this does is really help the lower back to soften into the earth. If we have any tightness or tension here, this can feel absolutely amazing. If we have a rolled up towel, we can use this to make our support a little bit lower, or even raise it up a little bit. So make it work for you. Always support underneath the head and neck. Take anything for the arms, maybe an eye pillow across the face. And then if we're coming to our side lying Shavasana, again, bringing something underneath you if you would like. Coming down to the ground. Finding enough support underneath our head and neck, and also taking something to hug onto. So making this as high or as low as feels good for you. Bringing something in between the knees so we aren't finding a major collapse and a roll forward in the pelvis. And there we go. Lying on either side if you're in your side lying Shavasana. If you want to lie on the left side, know this is great for the digestive system as well. Also great to do as a separate, as an individual posture if you're pregnant on your left side. And rather than using our Shavasana as an opportunity to fall asleep, I know it's very tempting, can we instead explore this as a way to stay connected to ourselves, as a form of meditation? So all we really need to do here is just be with the breath, and nothing else matters as long as we feel comfortable and supported in this space. Can we invite a little more space in between each of our thoughts? And scanning through our body here, from the crown of our head to the tip of our toes. Allowing the muscle to melt away from the bone, the earth beneath us to be like quicksand. As we take all of the tension, the tightness, the resistance away from our physical body. whenever our mind wanders, bringing it back to this space. Feeling this long, full breath in and out of the nose. If you have more time to stay in your Shavasana, then do so. But if not, know that a little goes a very, very, very long way for everybody appreciating the time we have spent here in our restorative practice. And if we have to move off our mat, really slowly start to wake up the body by wiggling the fingers and toes, rolling the ankles and wrists, anything that feels good. And in your own time, there's absolutely no rush. Use the palms to lift your way into a seat with the head and neck coming up last of all. Gaze stays soft. Floating the palms together at the heart center. Thank you so much for joining me today. From my heart to yours, I thank you. Namaste.